My name is Sato Moughalian, and I'm a flutist here in New York, a professional musician. I'm Armenian American. Came here to this country as a baby from Alexandria, Egypt, where I was born. My grandfather's name was David Ohannessian. We called him in the family Tavit, which is the Armenian way of saying David. Of course, I never met him because he died before I was born, but he obviously had a big influence on my life as my grandfather and as an artist. And I knew that he was celebrated in Jerusalem as the founder of an art that's very popular there today. The Kütahya ceramic tradition included a lot of Armenians. There were also Turks there historically, Greeks. It was a thriving industry based on the rich natural resources of the region, especially a special kind of white clay called kaolin clay, out of which these beautiful white ceramic porcelain wares were made. I knew that my grandparents and their 3 small children had been deported in the Armenian genocide in early 1916, and that they had been put on a forced march to Syria. But I didn't really know the details of how exactly he ended up in Jerusalem. In Aleppo, where he and his family lived as refugees for more than 2 years, he encountered a former patron of his, Mark Sykes, who's kind of notorious in history. And Sykes was the intermediary who introduced my grandfather to the current military governor of Jerusalem, Sir Ronald Storrs. He became Sir Ronald Storrs. Storrs and the British officials in Jerusalem at the end of the First World War were looking for a way to retile the external tiling of the Dome of the Rock. So when Mark Sykes re-encountered my grandfather in Aleppo and introduced him to Ronald Storrs and made it possible for my grandfather's family to go to Jerusalem, everyone seemed to be pleased with the prospect that an expert ceramicist would come to Jerusalem and create tiles for the Dome of the Rock, and perhaps also start a new industry in Jerusalem. And that's what happened. My name is Sato Moughalian. I'm the granddaughter of David Ohannessian, the founder of Armenian ceramics in Jerusalem in 1919. It's been my honor to share some part of our family's story with you today, for you to see some of the objects that we've lived with and that tell part of our family's story. Thank you very much for listening, for your interest in this beautiful art, and I encourage you to go home and look at the objects that surround you that carry the stories of your own family. Share them with your children, share them with your friends. These are precious.